It's important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up, we hear about the Island House programs for youth, and later on, it's Open Line when you can pick up the phone and express yourself. Tell us what's on your mind, Cayman. Talk Today's next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know about you, but I'm happy the weekend is upon us. Huh? Yep. Even if it is a dusty weekend. Yep, that's what it's looking like it's going to be shaping up to be. A dusty weekend is likely with another one of those Saharan dust plumes moving into the Cayman area. And the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Public Health Department, they're taking it very seriously. They are advising people to take precautions to protect themselves from the forecasted Saharan dust. They issued an advisory this morning, and they say that the National Weather Service is likely to issue a dust alert this evening, and based on the information provided by the Weather Service, the effects of the dust cloud are expected to begin this evening and persist through Sunday. So, dust, most likely for the weekend, and they want people to make sure they take care of themselves. They've listed a number of things here, but basically, limit your time outdoors, keep your doors and windows closed. Use, air conditioners and recirculation. Wear long sleeve clothing and protect your eyes from irritation. You go outside, wash your hands when you come in, and monitor yourself for any effects, and especially if you have asthma or other respiratory issues, you should really stay indoors because you only irritate yourself and aggravate your condition. So remain indoors where possible, and make sure you got any kind of medication that you would normally use. Have that readily available. And summer camps taking place over the weekend. Same kind of things apply. Limit the time outside because the Saharan dust is descending upon us. And I hope that doesn't put a damper on, the Miss Universe Cayman Islands pageant tomorrow night at Pedro St. James. That's the big show this weekend, so I'm sure a lot of people want to be heading out to Pedro for the Crowned by Starlit Shores pageant. That's what they're billing the pageant as. And should be a big night. Miss Cayman always draws a big crowd, and, people go and enjoy it. Well, earlier this week, we were introduced to the work of Island House to help young people to keep heading in the right direction. And this afternoon, we're going to get to know more about the Island House work, focusing on music this time around. And we're going to meet some of the young people attending Island House. Joining me now are Pastor Dalman Bodden and music camp students Akila Green, Dijon. Say it for me, Dijon.
Cahoon.
Okay, Cahoon. All right. Okay. And Bo Shields, all of whom are attending the music camp. Akila, you're kind of a graduate, right?
Yes, 3 years been at the Island House as an intern.
And you
and a student.
Okay. So, Pastor Dalman, give us a little refresher. We talked about the general work of Island House when you were on earlier this week, but give us a little refresher here.
So the initiative of the Island House is to focus on food sustainability, numeracy, and to help the young people to just get a good grasp on leadership and focus on their lives after school, and to be integrated in the community and be good stewards and citizens in Grand Cayman. All right, so the programs vary. We have music, which I'm a big part of, or it's a big arm of Island House that has just started or got off the ground. But definitely when it comes down to food sustainability, farming, and understanding how that works, that's what the Island House has been a proponent for. And then, of course, numeracy, helping young people to come to understand, okay, what are finances, how to go about their finances, budgets, and all, and the like. And then leadership courses and classes, etiquette, public speaking. There's just a plethora of things that the Island House catered to for aiding young people to grow and to be integrated into society and be good citizens.
So you try to really make them into rounded people.
Yeah.
You cover a lot of bases there.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think it's a beautiful thing that exists. You know, if I would say that there would be a problem with the program for Island House is that, you know how it goes. You know, you have something that because it's free. It's free to the community. Mm-hmm. But you can't save the world, right? You could try to serve, and as a matter of fact, that's what we're doing. We're working with the young people and with grand hopes that they will in turn be put back into society and they will serve where we couldn't have served everyone. They could serve their peers. So we can't serve the world. And I know you heard whoever was listening earlier this week, Dr. Gill talking about the fact that we would get referrals, whether it's from the girls or boys' homes or the schools across the island. We'll get referrals. And the reason we have to kind of like hone in and do it that way is because you know how it is. If you go out there and you go, hey, everyone, this is what we're doing, and people see that it looks beautiful, and even persons that don't see that look beautiful, everybody want a summer camp to go to in the summer. You'll find that we will get a little more than we can handle. Mm-hmm. So the referrals is the way that we decide to go to serve the community in that regard.
So all the schools know you and send students to you?
Yes, for the most part.
Is it mostly older students? I mean, high school?
So the referral program deals with students from 13 to 11, 12, 13, 14. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes down to like an Akila, she will have come through the program and then she would become from like 15 to 18 an intern. So they come through the program, they serve, they benefit, and Lord's willing, they're able to come back as an intern. And one of the beautiful things about this, I don't want to take too much of the time, but one of the beautiful things about coming back as an intern, having received all of the gifts that were poured into you, the Island House, and that's why we need supporters. I'm plugging that there. The Island House actually stipend these interns.
Okay, so they're getting a little reward there.
Yeah. You know,
and then they're giving back.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this at Island House?
me personally, because I used to be the pastor of worship, youth, and media at Cayman Islands Baptist Church. But I since moved on, and I wanted to dive into full-time ministry, not just at a church, but to come out and to fully serve the community. So Pause and Entertainment Ministry that I'm the founder of, we've been doing a lot of different things with music and with youth. And I met Miss Dr. Gail, and our visions aligned with regards to what we want to do in the community in certain areas. And so it was last year for me that I did jump on board and started serving in a greater capacity with the Island House. But they've been doing this for quite some time now, since the first camp, I believe, was Akila Kihelmi, 2023?
2024.
24.
The first camp.
The first camp, yeah.
So when people hear camp, I mean, they usually think of a lot of playing around or sports. And so you really don't get into the sports? You're into other life skills? Or
Yeah, so when it comes down to the sports part of it, I mean, kids need to be able to blow off some steam, right? So you can't just scoop them up in a little area and talk to them all day and give them things to do. They need to go out and get sweaty and shoot some hoops and kick some balls. So we do give that refresh time to get into sports. But the focus isn't we're going to do a basketball thing, we're going to do a football thing. That's just for them to release some steam.
So you really focus on things that they can take into their adult life.
Yeah.
All right, we have to take a little break here, but we'll be right back with more from Island House. Stay with us.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Shaka Khan. Shaka reveals who encouraged her into the music biz. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
This is Totally 80s.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9. And brought to you with the kind compliments of KFC.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're hearing about the work of Island House with young people, and today we're going to hear about the music that goes on at Island House and the production that is happening there. Pastor Delman, tell us about the music program. I know you're a big music person.
Yes, love music. Been doing music since my identity. Okay, let me not say it like that. But I've been doing music and came on board and did a production program in Easter for a whole week with a bunch of students. And we have two of them here, Dejan and Bo Shields. And the project where we were supposed to build songs, instrumentals, and just come together, work together, and put a project together. And that's what they did for that week. And we separated things to where we had producers, designers, singers, rappers, musicians, and we just came together and we worked together and put that project together.
So you did that in a week?
Yeah. No. The good thing about that is because that's the thing, right? Like, oh, wait a minute, that was a little bit quick. These students are so talented. They're so gifted. They were so ready to pour in and to pull out something fantastic that I was able to sit back, relax, and guide in certain areas. But they did the bulk of the heavy lifting and the driving, and they accomplished something fabulous in that 1 week.
Everyone must have felt real good about that.
Yeah.
Now, Akila, you've come through the program. Now you're an intern, but what would you say was the greatest benefit that you got out of attending Island House?
I think that before joining the camp, I was always more reserved as a person. Like, my confidence wasn't really there, and public speaking definitely not there. So after coming to the camp and speaking with the speakers and the people that helped us with public speaking and money management and stuff, I greatly benefited. And I think that's shown in my schoolwork as well. I was deputy head girl of my previous high school, Clifton Hunter, and I think the camp really helped with that, with my public speaking and how to present myself in front of people. So I think that's one of the biggest benefits that the camp has brought to me. Yes.
So you went through the music program also?
No, I did not.
So what do you as an intern now, what do you do at Island House?
So as an intern, we help with the younger group, the 11 to 14, and we basically show them the ropes since we've been at the camp before, and we become a role model to them. We help them with, stuff that they're struggling with, math. Basically just help them throughout the camp in general. And I think that really benefits us personally as well, because it teaches us how to be responsible and just become better role models for the younger youth of the Cayman Islands.
And Dijon, you're into music though, right?
Yes, I am into music.
So what have you been doing? Tell us about your experience.
My experience is a lot of work. A lot of work. And also the cooperation of my fellow camp members to help me through. And I also got to take part in other people's work too. So it also helped me in that case with working with other people and also getting advice from other people to help better the product.
So what aspect of the music production are you involved in?
Well, I would say I would in the music making part of that. That's my.
So you write the music?
No, I would like the actual instrumental part of the song. That would be my part.
So you. When I said when you write it, but
Yeah.
you work the music out on your instrument.
Yeah. So older folks say write music, and we say make beats. So that's
So you make beats.
Yeah.
Okay. and Bo, down there at the end, what part of music production are you involved in?
In the making of the music in that area too.
So you make beats also?
Yes, sir.
So what has been your big takeaway being a part of all of this?
In the week for the Easter camp, I learned how to work with other people, make new music, learn other genres, how to incorporate those genres together, and I learned new skills, and that's pretty much it.
And you enjoyed that a lot?
Yes, sir, a lot.
Yeah. So what have you come up with now, as far as that have you finished the production, or where are you at?
Right, so we did what was a listening session after everything was done at the end of the camp, and then we did a second listening session because we had some adjustments to make just recently, about a month ago, and then now we're in the final stages of releasing the product. So we need to do some marketing and do a listen party with friends and family, and release the product. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are right now.
But before coming to Island House, were you all, or did you all have access to being able to do any kind of production? I know a lot of people have a little, board in their bedroom and record or something like that. Were you able to do anything like that before?
No, not really. No.
So
this opened doors for you then.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
They may have had like a little program on a computer or iPad or something.
Yeah, just a program on the computer.
Not anything extensive.
So what did you discover with these young people in making this production?
A lot of what they've said with regards to working with one another, coming together, collaborating, and just having that open mind to hear feedback. I was very just blessed, and it was a breath of fresh air for me to see these talented young people come together and them sitting down with one another and hearing people pick at, because that's what it sounds like. It would sound like people pick at what their craft, and they sat down and they took their notes. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about their peers, saying, maybe that kick wasn't strong enough. Maybe that snare was too much, or have you thought about adding this particular sound because it might complement this better? And these are these young people talking. These young people talking, and it was beautiful to see them come together, work together, because there was a lot of them. They presented very shy, and like I said before, indifferent, just kind of like kept and their own persons. But then they broke out of their shells and they worked together and they collaborated and they produced something fabulous.
All right, we have a caller who would like to speak to you all. So let's go to the phone line. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chalo.
Yes, good afternoon.
And good afternoon to your guests.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Pastor, when it comes to the spiritual part of the young people, how are you helping them in their lives concerning that part of their lives?
Yep. Well, just to say, for the most part, that part comes before, for me personally, that comes before everything, right? It doesn't matter to me how talented the person is. I will just go and say this straight off the bat. You can be as talented as you want to be. If you've not repented and is trusting in Jesus Christ for salvation, your talent is going to get you nowhere. And I'm not talking about here on earth. I'm talking about after, because there's appointed to man once to die and then the judgment. And God came, he died, he resurrected, and if we repent and we trust, we get eternal life. And that I'm not afraid to say, and that I'm not afraid to teach. And so these young people, they, every single morning, every single afternoon when we were there, while we were creating, while we were putting things together, they got semblances of the reality that in the same way that they create and they call this their own, that we serve a God, a creator who created us and calls us his own, if we would just turn to him. And so, that we continue to give that life skill and lessons to these young people every single time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as adults and as parents, it's our responsibility to help our young people to seek Jesus and God's will for their lives. And to seek Jesus and God and to know them personally and to choose to serve them only by using the talents that Jesus and God have given them for his will only. And in that way, our young people will not be living in fear or in confusion. Thank you.
All right. Take care. So is religious discussions, education part of the program?
Well, for me, anything that I'm a part of, that will always be a part of it. That's the case. And so that's a yes. That's a definite yes. We preach Christ. I preach Christ and him crucified in every single avenue, in every single area. And that's one of the situations when it comes down to the Island House. It's built on a Christian ethos. And so that's one of the things that drew me even to the Island House.
So what you all have in your minds as far as where you're going from here? Akila, you can start us off.
Do you mean in terms
Music.
of like?
Yeah, music, your life. What would you like to do? I mean, have you discovered something at Island House that, say, I want to pursue this?
Well, I've always knew that I wanted to do something in medicine, but the camp really allowed me to understand my strengths and my passion, and I still want to do medicine, but the camp really made me make sure that I want to do medicine.
Okay.
And I want to be a doctor, but I haven't really figured out what type of doctor I wanted to be yet, but I'm sure I want to be a doctor.
You just got to get started and down the right road and
Yes.
seek that medical degree. And how about you, gentlemen?
Yes, for me, I've always been on the fence of doing a music career. I've always loved music.
Yeah.
I wanted to handle doing music, but I was always on the fence of doing actually pursuing a music career. But then when I went to the music camp, I really fell in love with music and wanted to pursue a career in music.
Go. How about you?
It's the same thing for me. Music is just what I love. It's my passion. And another thing I'd love to go on to do is engineering, like aircraft, aviation.
Oh.
So I really have to study hard while bringing music further into my life.
All right. Fantastic.
Nice.
Sounds like some good plans laid out there. All right. Well, we have to take a break, but we're going to hear from some other young people who are attending Island House right after this break. Stay with us.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market. The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're hearing about the work of Island House. And today we're focusing on the music projects that have been done at Island House with Pastor Dalman Bodden. And we have some more music camp students joining me in the studio now. We have Michaela Powell, Jamie Foster, and Zayden Abrams, who was here last, 2 days ago or something? Yeah. Well,
Wednesday.
Welcome, and welcome back.
Thank you so much for having us.
So, tell us about what these students have been doing. Working on the same project or a different project?
Yeah, so the same project. So, we had Bo and Dejan that were here, and we got Zayden, we got Jamie and Michaela, and we also have a few more students that were with us doing some stuff, like Dante, and Dante was here, and Gabe was here Wednesday as well. And so all of us are working together to put this project together. But I really want to hear them talk about this project. You know what I mean? So push a lot of your questions to them.
Okay, all right. So, Michaela, you want to start us off and tell us what aspect of the production you were involved in?
Sure. So, for me, I was a singer as well as a songwriter. So one of the songs on the album I wrote entirely, and me and Jamie sang it. Me and her were both the lead singers in most of the songs. And then Zayden was the producer, so he helped to make all the music and the tracks, and then he rapped on some of them, but we sing on them. That's basically what I did.
So you said you write music. Any influences in your on your writing, as far as other artists?
I love R&B, so I listen to a lot of R&B. So most of my writing came from that. And that sort of type of vibe. So artists like SZA, Giveon, Tyler the Creator, those are a lot of artists that I listen to. So a lot of my inspiration comes from them.
And Jamie Foster, you were she said you were one of the lead singers with her. Were you primarily singing, or you did other things for the production?
I was primarily singing, but I also did some songwriting along with Michaela.
And tell us about your songwriting. How do you approach your songs?
Well, normally I listen to other songs to get it, or I think of the vibe that I want the song to have, and then I listen to other artists that have a similar vibe to the song to really get a feel for how I should sing my lyrics, and then after I figure out how I should sing it, I create the lyrics so that I'm not struggling to find a proper tune for what I'm writing.
And Zed, you were producing and rapping. So tell us about your work as a producer and taking the material that they have laid out, they originated, and how do you enhance that as a producer?
Well, honestly, because of how talented these two are, it made my job less harder or difficult. Normally you'll spend like hours or like just a really long time trying to figure out certain things, may it be like the tuning of their voice, the key, whatever, blah blah blah, but it's just right there because they're such great singers. It was very fun, I will say that. The process of it was wonderful, and seeing other brains work together kind of brings me a sort of joy, if that makes sense.
So you're involved in making the final mix of this?
Yeah, mixing.
Tell us about that. What do you look for?
What I look for, as in like.
Yeah, for that final sound.
What are you trying to make that final product sound like?
Definitely a lot of clarity, and I guess what I'd probably call like spatial awareness, as in your ears are full of music where it's not blasting loud, it's not too low, but it's like spread across where everything that you're hearing is a pleasant like aspect of everything. And also I try to make it as clear as possible, because obviously we want the singers or whoever may be on the track to be heard as much as possible, and all their beautiful original like lyrics and what not be on the track and to be heard.
So what kind of musicians, what kind of instruments did you have backing the singers?
Depends on the song, but I can take an example for one that they were both on. We had pianos, we had strings, bass guitar, what else? And kind of like hip hop, trap drums on it as well. And like a normal drum kit. Things inspired from like 90s R&B, like Aaliyah, and yeah.
So what did you do for a studio? I mean, you got all these live instruments going, and
okay. I knew he was gonna go there with all the live instruments, but no, it wasn't a live instrument.
Oh, it wasn't live instruments.
No, so it's everything is more or less programmed. So these instruments are they come from a software pack.
Okay.
And so he was using FL Studio to create, and so that FL Studio right on the computer had all these instruments: the drums, the strings, the piano, everything.
So you program in what notes have to be played and the tempo, etc.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
You're putting musicians out of work, man.
it's been a while being done.
So, were you, any of you involved in music before coming to Island House?
Yes.
Jamie, you were?
The two of us are in a band where we play live instruments.
You play? I see. Okay, what band are you in?
We're in the John Gray High School pop and jazz band. It's new.
Okay, but sounds interesting. Pop and jazz.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were bringing that training then into this production.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Michaela, you were not involved in music before coming to Island House?
Before coming to Island House, I did mostly instruments. So I played piano.
Oh,
So that's what I did. Right now I'm learning trumpet at school. But I used to write music when I was a little younger. But recently I haven't been writing as much.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
When you were a little younger.
When I was a little younger, I wrote more. But I don't write as much anymore. So I'd write like 1 and 2 songs every now and again if I feel led to. But I don't regularly do it.
So it must be very creative then to try and blend the hip hop, which many times is just that beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're blending horns and piano, or into the hip hop. Is that am I right? That's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, our process was all of us, we loved R&B, and that's kind of the thing we agreed on as
that's your foundation.
Theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
good foundation.
When we were doing it for every song, for most of our songs, what we would do, we would look up a song that's similar, how we want it to sound, so we can get a feel, because the rest of us weren't as vice in this as Zayden was, because he does music, so he knows what he wants things to sound like. But since we weren't experienced, we would use music as our inspiration. So we would find like three or four songs that match the vibe we're going for, and we would like kind of pull different things from each of those songs so we get a feel, and then we would just shape it as our own as we go along. So that's how we did it.
Is this your first time with Island House?
Yes, this is my very first time. It's just been an amazing experience. Everyone there, they treat you as if you're really family. In that week, I got to know everybody, and even now, they're just so warm and welcoming, especially some of the people who aren't here. Dr. Gail, she opened her doors for us, and we really have to sit and appreciate that, because, these days we don't see as much stuff being done in terms of music and Cayman. So when I got the opportunity to go to this camp, I was so excited for it. And then Miss Iva, she treats everyone like they're her kids. She's very caring. She makes sure everyone's okay. And then Dr. Gail, he's really a mentor to us. Like when it comes on to not just the music. Dope. Pastor Dalman, he's an inspiration to us, not only when it comes to the music, but he taught us about the word. He taught us about life skills. He taught us a lot of things that we can use outside of music for when we get older.
Mm-hmm. What was your experience as far as, beyond the music?
Similar to what Michaela said, at first when I came there, I was kind of expecting it to be a bit dry, not many, like we're just there, work on the music, and then everyone leaves. Nobody really sits down to get to know each other. But when we started actually working and collaborating, we found that we didn't really have much in common other than music, but we still managed to find things that we all enjoy doing, and we'd be cracking jokes. And even though music is normally something that people would consider stressful to make, I really didn't feel stressed at all, because everyone was working together harmoniously and everybody had a really good work ethic. Everyone was kind, everyone was caring, and if you had your own personal issues, people would really sit down and talk you through it before getting back into the music.
Wow, what a testimony we're getting here. And Zayden, how about you?
Honestly, it was, I guess, people in my shoes. And when I say in my shoes, I mean, I guess, somewhat advanced. It may be engineers or producers, whatever the case might be. Normally, when things or opportunities like this are given to you, it's kind of like they're not really on my level. But instead of having that approach, I was like, I can come and actually help people and provide people with knowledge that even may be provided by like Pastor Dom, because he is a musician himself. Teach them things, and I can also assist in maybe even like break down certain things that people might not understand on such a level. And I guess that's why I'm also happy that me and Pastor Dom have a decent relationship, to the point where it's like we're able to help those in need without it being any like sort of trouble or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the experience was wonderful. And as I said, with all the talent that we had there, everybody was talented. It made everything less difficult, and ideas were flowing constantly, like day after day, or like after minutes. People were just, everybody was focused, rather it be on the project we were working on at the current moment, or if it was something else for the future, which is also how we were able to conquer making that album in a week. So I think that was really awesome.
Well, some good words there about Island House. Pastor Dalman, thank you for coming in.
Yep.
And thank you all for coming and tell us about your experience at Island House, which sounds like a wonderful place.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. It's 1 o'clock. Let's go to the newsroom.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Cayman Islands Red Cross is inviting residents to a free Disaster Management 101 session on Wednesday, July 15th at the Aston Rutty Civic Centre from 7 to 9 p.m. The public session aims to help the Cayman Brac community understand, prepare for, and respond to disasters, including hurricane preparedness and planning for other emergencies. In a notice, organizers say all are welcome to attend and learn how to better prepare themselves and families, with the session led by the new Red Cross disaster manager, O'Neill Minot. In international news, Devon and Cornwall police say they have begun a murder investigation after former Conservative minister and Reform UK spokeswoman Anne Widecombe was found dead with serious injuries at her home on Thursday. In a statement, the force said officers were called to the address in Haytor by the ambulance service at around 11:40 on July 9th, and Widecombe was located deceased inside. Detectives from the Major Crime Investigation Team are carrying out extensive inquiries, and police say they are looking for a white male in connection with the case. In other news, Meta's new AI image detection tool is under scrutiny after a Reuters analysis found it failed to identify some of its own cropped AI-generated pictures. The test highlights how simple edits can weaken efforts to spot deepfakes during a busy election year. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands. Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts, MBE, JP. In late 1945, Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts and his brothers formed Tibbett Brothers to build a cargo ship for trading in the Caribbean, which they named TB Radar, launched on August 20th, 1946. Keith supervised the construction, which was the first ship launched on Cayman Brac with the engine already installed. Keith also supervised the building of a second ship the following year, the MV Sonar, which launched on September 9th, 1947. After operating the ships for a few years, the brothers sold them both. Years later, he built and launched the MV Trial on 3rd of January 1967. In 1951, he joined the Trinidad Shipping Company for a year and a half before coming back to Cayman Brac in 1952 to join the ranks of Caymanians who were shipping out to global ports with national bulk carriers. Even though, unlike most of his fellow seamen, he spent merely a year on the ocean before turning his sights towards the promised land on shore. One of his personally created catboats was on display in the Kensington Museum in London for many years, a shining example of his pride of craftsmanship and excellence. This was part 4 of his special Sister Islands vignette series dedicated to Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts.
I'll be back. I've got 22 more days.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's check in with the weather service here, see what we can expect for the afternoon and this evening. Excuse me. It's going to be a cloudy afternoon here, and currently it is 90 degrees here in Georgetown. Feels like 108 degrees, and wind out of the east-southeast at almost 11 knots, and the relative humidity 75%. And lots of other stuff here today. We got dust, and we got a small craft advisory. So let's see what this is all about. The synopsis for today's forecast: a tropical wave will drift westward away from the Cayman area today. Another but less intense tropical wave is expected to begin drifting over the Western Caribbean tonight, which may bring a few isolated showers overnight. The influence of the low-level jet will support fresh to locally strong winds and maintain rough seas. A small craft advisory will remain in effect for the next few days. A layer of Saharan dust is expected to move into the Western Caribbean later today. A dust alert will be in effect from tonight. Radar images show scattered showers with embedded thunderstorms in and around the Cayman area, moving generally westward. Yes, we had some good little thunder and lightning this morning. Tonight, we can expect partly cloudy and hazy skies with a 20% chance of showers. A dust alert is in effect. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. Winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. Small craft advisory is in effect. A small craft advisory will be in effect for the Cayman area. Small craft should exercise caution over open waters, especially along the southern and eastern coasts. Within the reef and sheltered areas, conditions are or may be generally less severe, less than the open waters anyway. But operators should continue to exercise discretion as localized choppy conditions may still develop. And the next high tide is at 7:25 this evening, and the next low at 1:33 a.m. tomorrow. Sunset at 7:06, and the outlook, similar marine conditions are expected to persist through Sunday, with the small craft advisory being maintained as a result. A moderate to locally thick concentration of Saharan dust will bring hazy and drier conditions this weekend. The dust alert will be maintained as a result. And the National Hurricane Center in Miami, they have good news for us there. Yes, tropical cyclone activity not expected during the next 7 days. Well, Friday afternoon, and no further guests for today, so we can talk about this and that. It's open line for the rest of the show here, so you can pick up the telephone and give me a ring. Toll free 1-800-534-8255. That is courtesy of Flo. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990, and on WhatsApp 925-3261. And what's on your mind? Give me a ring and we can chat about it, right? Have you got your national ID yet? Seems like people have been kind of slow to get their national ID, but I'm sure it's a handy thing, especially if when you have to deal with the government, prove who you are, if you're Caymanian. All that is contained in that little card, that chip there that they have, I guess. So far, only 1,229 people have taken up the card. And I think our own April is one of them. I think it was on some social media. She was showing off her my EID. So it's a handy thing to have. I think I'm going to get one. It'll save you a lot of time when you have to go deal with government and proving who you are and so forth. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon again, Chalo.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if you remember. Probably about 2.5 years ago. Probably 2.5 years, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That Russia shot down and destroyed one of their own satellites that was in space.
They shot it down while it was in space?
Yeah, one of their own satellites.
Yeah.
It was in space. Russia shot it down and destroyed it. Do you remember that?
I'm running the data, but I'm not picking up anything. Tell me about it.
Well, when they did it, America and other countries were concerned that the debris from the satellite could probably damage other satellites in space.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why
junk.
Russia shot down? Yes. But do you know the reason why Russia shot down their own satellite in space?
No idea. Why?
They were testing to see how accurate their missiles were.
Mm-hmm.
If it was possible that their missiles could hit a target in space, and they were successful, when they did it. Russia has the fastest missiles in the world. America and other countries are still trying to figure out why they are so fast, and they still haven't figured it out. And America and other countries still do not have missiles that are fast as Russia does. But the main reason Russia shot down their own satellites in space and was trying to see if it was possible to do so is because when it comes to World War III, that is how Russia is going to win the war.
Well, let's hope we don't get there.
Well, it will happen. You can't stop that. And when the beginning of the war, Russia will shoot down all of America's satellites in space. And by doing so, America will not have any satellites to guide their missiles. Which means when America shoots off their missiles, their missiles will not be able to go directly and hit the targets that they're supposed to because of their satellites being destroyed in space. That is the reason why Putin did that. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm not sure what we're supposed to take away from that, but I mean, I guess sounds kind of scary there. But yeah, I see where that was in November 2021, from what I see here. Russia conducted a destructive anti-satellite missile test, most notably on November 15th, 2021, when a direct ascent missile struck the inactive Russian satellite Cosmos 1408. And yes, it did create a massive field of debris. Over 1,500 pieces of trackable space debris. And the resulting fragments forced the crew aboard the International Space Station to shelter in their capsules to avoid potential impacts. Yeah, it did cause a big disruption there. And I can imagine how that can cause a lot of concern, and would certainly give Russia the upper hand there. But let's hope we never reach the stage of World War III, because I remember, what was it? I think it went like someone asked Einstein, and this was back in his day, what weapons would be used to fight World War III. And Einstein, in his wisdom, said, I can't tell you, but I can tell you what weapons will be used in World War IV. Sticks and stones. Right? So hopefully we won't reach there. We can work things out before we reach World War III. But I know, there's all kind of conflicts going on, and sometimes what we never dream of starting a major conflict comes out of nowhere. Somebody decides to fire on a target and just sets some things in motion that snowballs, and the next thing you know, we've got a major conflict on hand. Well, yesterday, the one of the things that we touched on was freedom of religion. When my friend Mickey called, we touched on that. And other callers have, touched it, well, made it arise out of their comments, especially with this thing with where people are talking about, well, the Muslims are about to build a mosque, which technically they already have from what I've read, because you don't have to have, an ornate building to have a mosque, right? You can have a mosque in a very modest place. And there are some people who genuinely believe that that should not be allowed. But how does that fit into our Constitution? I mean, we have people of the Muslim faith already here in Cayman, and they do meet and have their services, and they would be meeting in what is called a mosque. Perhaps it doesn't look like a temple of any kind, but as a matter of fact, they reached out to the community a few years ago. There was, I came across a story in the Compass from, 2023? Yeah. And the headline is, Local Mosque Host Open Day Seeks to Clear Misconceptions on Islam. And, they invited people to come and visit them and try and get a better understanding of what they are about. But people, on hearing about the possibility of them building a mosque, have spoken out against it. We've had some people express that here on Talk Today, and people calling on the government to, prevent this from happening. But how does that work out with our Constitution? And I went digging around here, came across, Googled Constitution of the Cayman Islands, came across the Unofficial Consolidation for Informational Purposes Only version, and which is put out by the Constitutional Commission. And I guess it's condensed and made a little easier for people to access and to read. And but just looking at this now, this is the Constitution of the Cayman Islands, and it begins with the people of the Cayman Islands recalling the events that have shaped their history and made them what they are, and acknowledging their distinct history, culture, and Christian heritage, and its enduring influence and contribution in shaping the spiritual, moral, and social values that have guided their development and brought peace, prosperity, and stability to those islands, through the vision, forbearance, and leadership of their people, who are loyal to Her Majesty the Queen. Of course, we're loyal to His Majesty the King today. And it goes on to say, affirm their intention to be a God-fearing country based on traditional Christian values, tolerant of other religions and beliefs. Let's read that again. A God-fearing country based on traditional Christian values, tolerant of other religions and beliefs. So in this document, right at the beginning here, we say, yes, our country is based on traditional Christian values, but we are tolerant of other Christian beliefs. And, of course, Part 1 of the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights, freedoms, and responsibilities. And taking a look at that, what does that have to say about freedom of religion? Let me get down here. We have a strong freedom of movement. I'm working my way down this document. We have two calls on the line, so let's go to the phones while I find the section that I want to read out of this Constitution. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon again, Chalo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, speaking about religion,
Uh-huh. I know you love that subject.
it's a serious subject too. Because that's dealing with your soul. So, when you see the government allows certain religions to come into our country, and you know from the age that you are, the Cayman is a Christian nation.
Yes, yes, it is. We don't always live up to it, but
yeah, but whose fault is that?
Our own.
The individual's own.
Yeah.
But you know that your grandmothers and your grandfathers, I know my grandmothers and my grandfathers, the religion that they taught as Christians was the true religion from the Holy Bible. And they were God-fearing people.
Mm-hmm.
And they believed in Jesus and God.
Mm-hmm.
They never took
One
it
of
for
my
any
grandfathers was a preacher in the Church of God in West Bay.
Okay. And you see the Muslim religion?
Mm-hmm.
They do not believe that Jesus died on the cross. Their belief that the Son of God did not have to do that to forgive sins, that is what Muslims believe. I have a very close friend who's a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And he preaches in mosques. And this is what he preaches, that Jesus did not die on the cross, and he did not have to do so because he was the Son of God to forgive our sins. And I told him as a friend, I said, you are a very good friend of mine. And I would just like to say to you, what you're saying is not true. And by you preaching that and trying to encourage others to believe that, that's a very serious thing what you're doing. Because you're actually saying that Jesus and God are liars. And it's not true what they wrote in the Holy Bible. And I told him, I said, it's better for you to keep that to yourself than to preach that and trying to encourage others to believe that, because it's not true what you're saying. Him and I are still friends today.
Oh, good.
And when it comes to Jehovah's Witness does not believe that Jesus is coming back. They don't believe that there's a second return of Jesus coming back to look for us, to take us with him to heaven, those of us who are prepared, those of us who have been chosen as his children. They do not believe in that. They do not believe in the second coming of Jesus Christ.
But do you believe that people have the right to their own beliefs when it comes to their spirituality, their religion, their conscience?
Yes, people have the right to do that, but let me warn you of something. Jesus and God warned you in the Bible, when you come before them on Judgment Day, they do not take excuses. They warn us in the Bible, they do not take excuses when it comes to Judgment Day. So, deep down inside, people know right from wrong, You hear some people say about they don't have a conscience. That's a lie. Because your conscience is your soul. And you see, when your conscience speaks to you, that's your soul warning you that whatever you're doing is wrong.
But the question that I'm putting though, I mean, should we allow people to express their religious beliefs, or should we restrict that?
People can express their religious beliefs.
Okay.
But people should not be allowed to come into our Christian country, the Cayman Islands.
So suppose they are Caymanians themselves. They're already Caymanians, and they choose to be a Muslim.
No, you even if they're
or they
Caymanians
choose
themselves,
to
it should not
take up, practice the Jewish religion or Hindu.
People should not be allowed to do these things, because if they get to our children, they could be having our children living lives of confusion and fear. And by our children believing things such as Jesus isn't coming back, or believing things such as Jesus did not die on the cross, they are very serious things. And if they then believe that and teach their children to believe it also, and it continues and it continues and it continues, that is very serious.
Okay, so you're saying we shouldn't have freedom of religion in the Cayman Islands then?
No, you shouldn't. And
Okay.
in Russia, Putin has banned every Jehovah's Witness church in that country.
Well, he's probably want to ban everybody that doesn't agree with him.
No, but one thing I can say about him, he might have his wrongs.
Plenty of them.
Yes, but one thing I can say, he doesn't approve human rights to the point where
Does he approve any human rights? I don't think he approves any human rights. Well, listen, I got to take a break. I got to take a break. I'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve.
UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Shaka Khan. Shaka reveals who encouraged her into the music biz. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
This is Totally 80s.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9. And brought to you with the kind compliments of KFC.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And before I go to the phones, let me just finish the setup here. The question of the day in the Bill of Rights, talking about freedom of religion. And in this section, Section 10 deals with conscience and religion. And 10.1 says, no person shall be hindered by government in the enjoyment of his or her freedom of conscience. 10.2. Freedom of conscience includes freedom of thought and of religion or religious denomination, freedom to change his or her religion, religious denomination, or belief, and freedom either alone or in community with others, both in public and in private, to manifest and propagate his or her religion or belief in worship, teaching, practice, observance, and day of worship. We voted for this. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm fine and dandy.
Mr. Charlo, you know, I have to, when it concerns religions, I have to agree with the wording of the Constitution, you know. The laws of the land. Fortunately or unfortunately, the other guy that was telling me that he's a prophet and tried to get me to be a racist now, I don't agree with him and his what he's trying to say about this so-called religion he was talking about. No, what he was trying to tell me, but because I don't even know, he didn't even tell me which. And I don't believe in that kind of junk. You know what I mean, Mr.
Yeah.
Carlo? I had all kinds of teachers. My teachers are from. I had teachers from India. I had teachers from Canada, United States, Cayman, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad. You know, England.
You had all kind of teachers.
I had all kinds of teachers, and today when I see my, if they're still alive, I try to show them respect. They taught me to read and write, and I find it very difficult to be a racist and to be hateful against people. I don't believe in being hateful against people. I believe in fair.
Good.
So when it concerns the human rights thing, now I believe in being as fair as I possibly can be as many people as I possibly can be fair to. You know, including religion, but to be misled is a different thing. You know, when growing up, it's like the different religions. A lot of people tried to lead me in the religious movement, different types, and I, you know, they were older than me. I would usually say to them, "Yes, sir. Okay, okay, all right. I listen and I observe and I disrespect them or anything like that."
So you're for freedom of religion as long as you're not talking about being unfair to somebody or trying to hurt somebody.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe in and they're you know, they're having the ability to you know, have their religions practice because
Live and let live.
you know, my teachers, when I look at my teachers and I look at the other different people from different countries, I mean, if they come here to Cayman, they, you know, they're already of a different religion.
Maybe.
And like you said, some Caymanians are already involved in other religions. I think it's fair to just leave them alone. Don't trouble people. You know, when I grew up in a way that they used to advise us. She said, that man that they say he's an Obeah man, but don't fast with that man. Don't trouble him. Leave that man alone. Don't harass that man. Leave that man. And I mean, like I said before too, I had people used to show me magic, illusions, and teach me.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got a couple of other callers on the line. Okay, so let me see if I can get to them. Thanks for the call.
Okay.
Let's take another call here. Good afternoon. You are on the air with Talk Today.
Hi, Mr. Charlo. I don't know where to start with you.
You don't know where to start?
I don't know where to start with you, bro.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah, I'll start. But I know I don't have as much time as the man from the UK. But I want to say I voted for the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in your question of the day. Strangest thing is, though, Emmanuel is God with us.
Yeah.
And we all grew up in school. They taught us the word. And we stuck to the word. I'm one of those that I was shunned. I was shunned by the church. When I started to become a natural person, I grew my hair, I grew my beard. I was rejected at the door. I told everything I had.
Literally
at the door of the
rejected
church, sir. At the
Okay.
door of the church.
Yeah.
I sold everything once in my life to follow the faith. Sold all of my CDs, sold all of my stuff. Everybody thought I was crazy. Now, in 2026, it started to. I now realize the why. I realize the why because of the recent Ethiopian Orthodox and the books that were released and Christ's teachings that were missing. Teachings where God is with you. So all that looking that I was doing and trying to find, God was already with me. And let me prove you that God was with me. Because when they rejected me at the door, I had to dig into my core. I started with music.
Mm-hmm.
God gave me music. God gave me these writings. I just didn't know what to do with them at the time. But I had some good guys to work with. Samuel Rose was one of those guys. And I started to write these spiritual songs. I applied myself. I created 7 albums. And to this day, I don't shun anybody that comes and asks me about my faith. Now, let's start from there, Mr. Charlo. You know who I is.
I'm trying to catch the voice.
That's okay. But I'm saying we have too much churches. Because when we came out of Rockwool, it were only two churches. It was the Pentecostal church, and it was the Church of God. And now you see how many churches, and Charlo, it broke my heart, being shunned at the door.
I can imagine.
Charles, this is where God manifested himself to me. And I had to take those writings, make them into songs, and today people are telling me, boy, G, you know those songs really reach me though. And I did that without a pastor. I did that without a brethren on my side constantly. I did that because God is with me. Is anybody listening out there?
I'm sure they are.
And I'm saying too much church, too much search. You have to, when you're honest, God will manifest himself to you. That's my part for today. I wish I had more time with the guy in the UK, though. Can I talk some more?
You can talk. I got to take a break, but...
I know you got to take a break every time I call.
No, man, not like that.
Should I hold?
How many? We got some more callers here.
Might have been holding for 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes sometimes.
All right. My testimony is today, God is with me. Thank you.
So you stand for freedom of religion?
No.
No. Okay.
No, because extremists have the same book. And extremists will take the same book and have a different perspective. A man like me now, I will see the book, and I'm not trying to harm anybody, child. Dig into thyself.
Mm-hmm.
What is God saying to you to say to his people? And you see what I did with my life? No church did that for me. It was me searching for God and God sitting down beside me saying, gee, look, go this way. And I thank God for Jesus. I thank God for Muhammad. I thank God for Selassie. I thank God for all of those prophets that had the right perspective. No bombs, no guns, no intimidation, no bracelets, no danglings, no glitter, no money here, no sharing there. You find God for yourself, and I'm telling you, you will help others. You're going to help others.
All right, well, thank you. All right, G, take care. We're going to take a break. Be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
She hear clunk and our car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
It's here.
Multi-year trade and business licenses are now available. You heard right. You can apply for TBLs up to 5 years. Save time, reduce paperwork, and focus on growing your business. Apply online at dci.gov.ky. Apply for your multi-year trade and business licenses today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden, and happy Friday.
Same to you. You ready for the weekend?
No, but, it is what it is. When are you going to have me on to your show one day of the week and guest host with you? Because I'd love to do it. Waiting for the invite. I know your ratings would go up. They'd love to see you
think so?
Tearing off. I believe so. Absolutely. But thought I'd give you that good chuckle. But I'm still open to it.
Okay.
Yes, no. So just keep it in mind. I was calling to try to discuss some complaints and feedback that I've received from the public about the banks and other business establishments refusing tender, particularly paper dollar bills, if they are not, super crisp and clean and so forth, even if they have a little crease or, I've had one person show me they took money out of the ATM and, it wasn't too favorable and they took it back to the bank and the bank wouldn't accept it. So I wanted to discuss that a minute. I don't know. I've tried calling government administration building to try to find out where I could direct people to perhaps take their damaged paper bills, but I haven't been getting an answer from the administration building.
Actually, I got one changed at the bank the other day.
Okay, well, that must be your fancy, because I think I saw one of the banks had I won't call which bank it is. One of their branches had a sign up also, and then I've seen a few establishments. I can kind of understand the establishments.
Yeah.
Not wanting to take them, if something may have a little piece torn off or, the paper bill may have been taped back up or something like that. I don't know if that, I know it defaces the bill, but I don't know if that devalues the bill, take away from the value. But I don't see the reasoning behind the bank doing it, because they're the ones that collects the money, but I don't know if there's a mint or whatever we want.
Yeah, I think they turn it into the monetary authority, don't they?
Oh, okay, yeah, that should have been where I should have called to try to get some.
Yeah, and this was a $50 bill, almost ripped in two, and actually part of it missing.
Right.
It had been hidden away and then rediscovered, and they changed it. They gave us a new $50 bill and took that one, and I guess they turned that into the monetary authority, and they're reimbursed for that.
Yeah, maybe they recognize you from Radio Cayman. You don't recognize your voice.
Well, no,
just kidding.
Actually, it was someone did it for me. I didn't even go to. So I had no influence on it.
Yeah, I'll probably call the monetary authority and see what their directions are. But it's an interesting discussion you guys are having here. About freedom of religion and so forth. As I've said many times, I do believe our Constitution needs to be modernized a little bit more. I think that was just 2000. When was that? 2009.
Yeah, and then there were some amendments. I think as late as 20, but 2020. I think it was the last set of amendment. That's when the Legislative Assembly became Parliament and some other things.
Right.
I think.
Right. You know what I do believe people do not realize, with growth and evolution comes things that we may not always want to welcome. And I believe that's what's and not that I believe, I know that that's what's happened to Cayman. The more we're no longer the islands that time forgot, and the more we're on the map, we'll be placed on the map. And we know that by the multitude of hundreds of nationalities that we have here. We know that the COVID additionally put us on the map, because we were basically, from what I heard basically the safest place to be in, and on this side of the world. And so there is going to be an influx of different changes, and that includes religion. Now, how do we balance that is the other question, to make sure that we retain what our Caymanian people have always known, and we are proud of as a people, and we have Christian values. I heard the last caller saying that coming out of Rockville, there were only 2 churches. He sounds younger than I am because I'm in my early 50s, but I know there wasn't only 2 churches in Georgetown at the time. There's been churches in Georgetown that are probably older than even yourself. I don't know how old you are, but you know what I mean, right? And overall, around Grand Cayman, like Elmsley and those other churches, but
Church of God,
right?
And
when we think, there's a certain practice that on the oh my gosh, I can't remember the act, but there's a certain practice in the legal documents that is banned in the Cayman Islands, but is legal in certain other countries, right, by other names. But it is also considered a religion based on, but it's practiced different ways. Now, we have to weigh that against the Constitution, too, and we have to weigh other persons coming here with their practices, with their religions. But then some of those religions, like that, I think the last caller was alluding to this, that some of those religions, they all kind of have similar books, but some of those religions
holy book.
believe, right? So some of those religions believe in violence and aggression, and women. When we're trying to promote women's rights, we're trying to modernize ourselves to the rest of the world and the other human rights organizations, and in terms of women. But some of these religions that are coming into the country and that are practicing publicly and even in our town halls and our school halls, are practicing these religions, and some of those religions believe in violently abusing women and child marriage and all these things. So how are we going to balance all of this and not try to breach people's constitutional rights, because we have it in there, and the more we grow, and we see that we had to adhere to certain rights when it came to that resulted in civil partnership rights and all those kinds of stuff. So. This is really an interesting topic. I really enjoy civil rights and human rights. It's very, very dear to me, and so we're going to have to balance that, because we know we have mosques. People probably don't know, but I know there's mosques in the Cayman Islands, and I'm not just targeting one particular religion. I know that some religions are publicly using religious reasons or religious content. The religious backing to say they want to use the town halls. I'm not against people practicing religion in the privacy of their own home, but how far do we go to allow and say, okay, that's their religion, they have a right to practice? Or do we say, okay, when you're applying for a nonprofit or for a profit or whatever they want to call them, we want to show what your religion believes in, we want to show what your practices ensures and all that kinds of stuff. Because luckily, I may be wrong, but luckily for the Cayman Islands, we're still kind of in a unique situation where even though we're under British, we still can, do our own thing in a manner of speaking when it comes to our laws and that sort of thing. So this is a really interesting topic, and I know the powers that be will be listening, and we have to look at this before it becomes too widespread, because we see in the UK now we have, different cultural backgrounds, and in the US, different cultural backgrounds taking public office, and then religion playing a part in that. And, there's also the consideration of what do we define as religion? Because, like I said, there's a certain practice on our law books that is outlawed in the Cayman Islands, but is considered a religion to some people, And so there's other beliefs that are considered religion to some people. What will we allow in the Cayman Islands at the same time while protecting us and our people? Because we don't want some of these things coming here and what's the word I'm looking for, to make an impression on our people and our children. But we still want people to feel welcome and comfortable if they come to the islands, but they have to know, hey, we don't permit this, because we don't permit bigamy. If you marry
Right.
in your country to 4 people, we don't permit bigamy here. We have to maintain that. You know, we don't permit some other things either. But I'll leave you with that. It's news time, so I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. We have a couple of calls there holding, but we don't have much time before we have to go to the news. So just hang in there, and we can come straight to you after we do the news. And we've been talking about, freedom of religion in the Cayman Islands, prompted by some of the things that we've heard about people being against any kind of mosque being built in the Cayman Islands. And I don't even know if that has been actually confirmed. And of course, as I said at the beginning of this discussion here, that a mosque does not have to be, a specific temple that is, built as a mosque. A gathering of people to, hold their Muslim beliefs and practice their beliefs in a space that is considered their mosque, right? It's 2:00. Let's check in with the newsroom.
We are Radio Cayman, covering Cayman Right, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman. 1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Calderwood, a Cayman Islands-based fund governance firm, has appointed Richard Goldman as an independent director, adding to its senior leadership as the company continues to grow in its 10th year of business. Goldman, who is based in Boston, has 40 years of experience as an investment funds attorney and spent 22 years as a partner at Morgan Lewis, including time with Bingham McCutcheon before their 2014 combination, where he served as co-head of the Global Hedge Funds Group. In international news, Ryanair says one of its Boeing 737 NG jets was forced to return to Thessalonica for an emergency landing this morning after a passenger window dislodged in flight on a service to Germany. The airline confirms one person received medical assistance but has not elaborated on the cause. Local media in Greece report a piece of engine broke off and smashed the window, causing cabin decompression and partially sucking a passenger out, with 2 industry sources giving the same account. Also, at least 12 people have been killed and 23 are missing after a fast-moving wildfire in the Almeria province of Spain, with officials calling it one of the country's deadliest blazes on record. Many victims died while trying to flee by car or on foot against evacuation plans. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and before we go to the phones, quick update for the weather here in Georgetown. It's 89 degrees, it feels like 106, and it's going to be a cloudy, or at least occasionally cloudy afternoon. Winds out of the southeast at almost 14 knots, relative humidity 73%. And the forecast, we've got tropical waves rolling through the area. And tonight we can expect partly cloudy and hazy skies with a 20% chance of showers. A dust alert will be in effect. The Saharan plume is back. Temperatures in the low 80s. Winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas rough, running at 5 to 7 feet. And a small craft advisory will be in effect. A small craft advisory is in relation to small craft exercising caution over open waters, especially along the southern and eastern coasts. Within the reef may be less severe, less than open waters, but operators should continue to exercise discretion as localized choppy conditions may still develop. Sunset at 7:06 in the outlook. Similar marine conditions are expected to persist through Sunday, with small craft advisory being maintained. Moderate to locally thick concentration of Saharan dust will bring hazy and drier conditions this weekend. The dust alert will be maintained as a result. So if you have asthma, other respiratory issues, don't be out and about too much. And even if you don't, be careful as far as, being outside and exerting yourself. We have a couple of callers on the line there, so let's check in with the phone lines. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Hi.
Yes, sir. Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, it's been good so far.
With this Saharan dust, I'm not too convinced, but it's all right.
No, what do you mean you're not too convinced?
If you know me, you know me. I've been talking all about solar geoengineering for.
Yes, I just looked at the picture you sent me.
Yeah, man. I hope you end up.
I can't see the rainbow though.
Okay, well, if you can't see the rainbow, then that must be only me. But I've seen several people around me and pointed at it.
Well, I mean, it might be the photo, just not picking up the colors, but.
Well, if you look at the photo really good, it's just right above the tree, the palm tree.
Okay.
The rainbow is just right under the palm tree.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Right. So I've never seen dust do something like that before. I've seen other things, but
maybe it was rain. Oh, because that's in the distance. That's way out there.
Yeah, possible. Anyways, I'm not too convinced. It gives us respiratory illnesses, so I know it's not water. Your topic this afternoon, very interesting. If you want my opinion on it, I don't favor freedom of religion.
So what are we going to do about Article 10 here?
I don't know about that article, but just like how they're changing a lot of laws, we need to look into that as well.
You would have to make an amendment to the Constitution, though, right?
Let me tell you about freedom of religion in my point of view, right? I'm going to read something first, and it's coming from a sanctuary church in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania, the Sanctuary Church. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read a quote on something that Rifleman's Creed Major General William Rupert Tuss in 1941 wrote. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it, and I must master my life. Without me, my rifle is useless. Without my rifle, I am useless. I must fire my rifle true. I must shoot straight at my enemy who is trying to kill me. I must shoot him before he shoots me. And the leader of that church says that the AR-15 equates to the rod of iron described in New Testament book in Revelations 2, verse 27. And if we think about freedom of religion, where is our freedom in Cayman when we can't even defend ourselves? And that's a fact. We cannot defend ourselves in this island because...
Why, because we got gun control?
Yeah, well, we got a lot of other controls than this done. So.
But I mean, I would say to that what's his name again?
Mr. General William Rupertus.
Yeah, well, this is a church, right? I wonder if they ever heard the line of you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by the gun, you die by the gun.
That's right, and that's where the freedom comes in, because I should have the freedom to live or die, right? And the Egyptians believed that the most significant thing in life is to die. And also, I follow Romans, and in Romans it said, be more like Christians. It says, be kindly, affectionate, and to one another, honor, giving preference to one another, not lagging in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, steadfastly in prayer. Bless those who prosecute you, and bless those who don't. All those things that we need to remember in believing in God, believing in Christ. I am that type of person that is persuaded by my own mind. Those who want to follow that on their own, because like our religion, we all follow the same faith. Like our religion, we all follow the same faith, God. And I don't like to judge another man's religion, but I do judge another man's action. And when they use religion to their advantage, taking advantage of what the Bible says doesn't justify your actions, because the Bible also doesn't only speak about one thing. It speaks about many things, good and evil. So just because it's written in the Bible doesn't mean that it should be condoned. It also mentions things that you should condemn. And and idol worshiping is one of the things that I know that is condemned in the Bible, regardless of whatever religion you're in. And the thing is about that, right? I personally am not religious. I believe in God, but I'm not religious because it's as close as it can get to a cult. And I only love to read my Bible by myself, and I will read with others if they are reading out loud. But one thing I don't.
And that's guaranteed in our Constitution.
Right. One thing I don't.
Either alone or in community with others.
Right, and one thing I do not support is the changes in the Lord's Prayer, even if it's just one word, whatever churches that you go to that changes the Lord's Prayer because of whatever excuses, being that Jesus was alive then and he's not alive now. Whatever excuses it is, the Lord's Prayer should never be changed. And I know that they have some churches out there, they might be listening to me. I don't really worry about that. But
you mean like these updated versions of the Bible and such?
That's right. Yeah. And not only just that, just out of preference, the Lord's Prayer is changed for their motto.
But you do realize that even the Bible went through a lot of different translations.
Yeah, well,
before ending up in English.
King James version. So I follow the King James.
King James.
Yeah.
Okay.
The King James version, no other one. And I read other versions as well. Don't get me wrong, but because
I mean, it was in Greek and Hebrew and.
Right. But you know what else is my religion, and I take it very sacred.
What's that?
Meditation.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I do it like it's a ritual, and this is the thing. A lot of people are not spiritually connected to God. A lot of people.
And it's great that you are free to do that.
Right.
Yeah. But listen, I got a couple of more calls, and I'm running out of time.
Yes, sir. All right.
Good to hear from you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take another call here. Do we have a break in this half hour? But let's go ahead with the call. We do have a break? All right, we better take it then before we get into the phone calls. Let's get that out of the way. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
The Water Authority Cayman advises residents of Georgetown of a planned service interruption and temporary road closure this coming weekend. On Sunday, July 12th, between 12:30 a.m. and 6 a.m., customers in the Crew Road area will experience a temporary interruption in their water service while crews install 4 new main line valves. Affected areas include Smith Road between Huldah Avenue and Crew Road between Agnes Way and Birchwood Drive, and the surrounding neighborhood, including Arundel Lane, Crusader Way, Glenmont Close, Rosemont Close, Agnes Way, Grace Street, Rose Lane, Lakespur Way, Desmond Drive, Our Haven Way, Haven Close, Clarence Drive, Belmont Close, and Captain Osmond's Place. Motorists should also note that the eastbound lane of Crew Road near Agnes Way will be closed to traffic from 11:30 p.m. Saturday night through 7:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Flagmen will be on site to direct traffic, and drivers are asked to proceed with caution through the area. The Water Authority thanks the public for their patience and understanding and apologizes for any inconvenience. For more information, contact the Water Authority Cayman at 345-949-2827 during business hours 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging all residents to verify the validity of their travel documents and take steps to protect them ahead of the hurricane season, which starts the 1st of June. Residents are advised to check passport expiry date, verify entry requirements for their destination, apply for or renew passports and visas early, and make copies of passports and key documents and store them in waterproof containers. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, hello, Charlo?
Yes, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Charlo, how you doing, man?
All right, all right.
Good on this Friday.
You ready for the dusty weekend?
That's what we're calling it now. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is now. I can barely keep up with what's going on down here, much less thinking too much about what's going on up there. And just want to trust the rest of God, because that's really where it's at. There are some things that is outside of our control, I suppose, on so many levels. And I guess it's a good segue for what I'm going to share right now. And I had no intentions of joining into your little discussion there about our churches and those things.
Freedom of religion.
Yeah, I mean, that's not why I called. I'll just say this because the last caller said something that I think is worth sharing for his purposes and his studies. So he mentioned that he lives, to use his words, he said, I live like the Romans do, and then he quoted something from, I think, the Holy Bible, I'm pretty sure that it was from the Holy Bible, from the book of Romans. And I'll just remind him that wasn't necessarily the Romans living that. If we subscribe to what the scholars say, the book of Romans, like many books within the New Testament, was penned by Paul, And so that was a letter that he wrote
Yeah.
to the Romans, encouraging them to live that way. So it wasn't that was them writing it. It's Paul writing to the Romans, encouraging them to live that way. The scripture that he just read. But why I'm calling Charlo is I guess suppose personal, and I'm raising it only because I'm trying to be very calm in the way that I share it. Because it only just happened last night, but I've been so frustrated trying to get this addressed. I'm often wondering whether Off-Reg is even listening as well, because I've even had to contact them. I'm going to go very broad on this. So why is it that when people use their debit card or what have you in businesses and there is an error on the machine, that the customer has to wait 5 days in case of this incident I'm having? They said up to 30 days that the banks can hold this hold, and you don't get your product or you don't get your whatever. In this case, it was a gas station, and I'm specifically not naming the gas station because I want to give them chance to do what's right. But the fact that the clerk last night told me that this has happened multiple times tell me that there are many people who this has happened to. So I went last night to a gas station, and I used my debit card at the pump. That is an option that they have provided for their customers.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me the approval and said to go ahead and punch my gas, and I did. And when I went to go pump the gas, nothing came out, and I looked back, and it was back to zero. Now, this was $50, Charlo.
Whoa.
So I went...
And it debited it. It took it. They took the money.
It took the money. It took the money because, one, it gave me the approval to say go ahead and punch my gas.
Yeah.
And then when I went to go pump it, it said zero. So, and the gas wasn't coming. So I went inside, and immediately, so you can see that this is a line that they have lined up. Immediately she's like, that's the bank. The bank is holding for 5 minutes. I said, hold on a minute here. That card machine outside that you have available for your customers, the bank is only doing what it's supposed to do, which is to hold the money. I said, don't you see that I got the approval? Yes, I can see it. And don't you see that I didn't get no gas? Yes, I can see that. So why can't you not put $50, clock it on that pump and give me my gas?
Right, simple.
No. Yeah, simple fix in my view. No, that's not how it works. I can't do that. I said, well, could you call someone who can? First of all, she couldn't find anybody. She gave me a couple of numbers. One answered, gave me the same line, this is a bank problem. And the other one didn't answer. Then they gave me some QR code that I need to send a WhatsApp to. Don't know who I'm talking about. I need to send a WhatsApp to tell them this issue, which I did this morning, and they only just replied to me a while ago. And I'm here, and they told me the same thing. They're going to fall away in 5 days. I said, no, I'd like a letter immediately. In fact, I have been manager of many places, and those credit card machines can give instant refunds.
Yes.
Why can't you not process a refund since you have my $50? So essentially, I had to pay money again. I said, let me ask you this. What happened if that was the only $50 I had on my card, and I came there to get, say, $30 worth of gas, $40 worth of gas, and now you've tied it up and you're telling me I need to wait 5 days? How do I get my gas? What do I do then? They need to have a process in place to instantly, because obviously this is not a one-off thing, or put up a sign so that people don't use their machines and have to go inside. But you cannot stand behind the banks. They should not be allowed to stand behind the banks when the banks is just doing their process. And forget calling the banks, because the bank's going to tell you that they are protecting the businesses. And listen, I understand that relationship, as I told the gentleman at Off-Reg earlier. I understand the relationships of why those banks have to have that strong hold, because they have to reassure these businesses that they're going to get their money. There has to be a relationship established, and obviously they're doing it for their own purpose as well, because that's how they make their fees, their money for every time that transaction is used.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing untowards there. I understand that process, but the business
should be able to redress their customers immediately. And there's simple ways of doing that. If you can verify that that person got an approval and they didn't get a product, you should be able to instantly give them a refund and not be hiding behind the process that the bank has in place. How is that?
They should be able to instantly give you some gas.
Well, that would be the alternative. The alternative is to give me the gas or give me the refund. Either one works for me, and it should work for anybody. But they should not. I shouldn't have to wait in the case of what I was told this morning up to 30 days. For what? What did I do wrong? I used your machine. Your machine held my money. Doesn't matter that the bank is involved. The machine did what it was supposed to do. Now you're not doing what you're supposed to do by the customer.
Yeah, you're not delivering the product.
You're not delivering the product. I then had to pay money again in order to get gas. And again, what happened if I didn't have that and my car was on E? That's just wrong.
Yeah, that's a really bad scene that you've just painted there.
Really bad, and the sad part is that the staff member told me that she's had so many arguments with so many people because it's happened before. So it's not something that's new to them, and they're not unique in that. I had that happen in a pizza place, and I could. And by the way, I could show her also my app that showed the gas station name just in the moment and the amount and last night's date. She still couldn't do nothing about it. And the same thing for the pizza place that it happened at as well. They told me it's going to fall away. Now, I was a little bit more comfortable with letting that one fall away. It was like $8 or something like that.
Yeah, you can kind of live with that one.
I could live with that one. I could go home, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I needed my gas. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just wrong that these businesses can just get away with just, frustrating the heck out of people like this.
Well, listen, I want to try and get another call in here before the show, but I feel your frustration, and you're absolutely right. That should not happen.
I did my part. Thank you. I did my part. I sent a complaint to Off-Reg. That's what they asked me to do, and I have answered that WhatsApp that just came in. I hope that I can get my money a little bit quicker than
I hope so.
After 30 days. Thanks, man.
All right, take care. Bye. Let's get another call in here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Din.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Rambo speaking. Yes, sir. Good, man. You got some breeze, man. 15 knots of breeze with some breeze, man.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, man.
And I'm watching Belgium and Spain, Brussels and Madrid. So I go down now. My punchline now, Mr. Glynn. You see, certain people will migrate to certain jurisdictions, despite the hemisphere. Mm-hmm. Right, their roots, where they come from. First of all, I fully 100% heterosexual. That's my drive. Magna steel, right?
Yeah.
That's rocket. I guarantee steel. So, with certain people like even FIFA, there's all racism, right? Respectfully, there's an audience. So, from morning, right? That be commencing. So you see, when they have like these laws, right? The stagnation laws, right? Ban or restricted marriages or intimate relationships between people of different races.
Right.
That's where it come from. That trend, that's a trendsetter. You understand? So, they always say they're advocating for segregation, right? Racial segregation in the hierarchies by criminalizing interracial relationships. Right, and back in the U.S., there was a Supreme Court case back in 1967, right, in Virginia, right, and you know apartheid, South Africa, prohibition of mixed marriages act, that down 1949, right, and also the Nazis, Germany, 1939, right, in Nuremberg law. So this is gonna be if I wrap up though. You see, there's always no incredulity, doubts, or skepticisms. Right, or immigrants or expats. That's the ideology and beliefs, right? And that's the ideas in philosophy, right? That's the ethical dissent in humane. That's the morality. That's how they feel. So their drive is incalculable, right? Unpredictable, unforeseen, narrow-minded. That's how they contemplate things. You see, and by learn, right? I came out of school 9.5 years of my life. That I started my education from, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I talk fast, my vernacular, my pronunciation, but who know me understand me, right? But what I've taught and learned, God is omnipresent at all places at all times.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so in the past, I was in the construction industry. And a lot of people, it just be down, you know, but how it is. So, this is going to be the last thing. You see, come 2029 election, we need bold representatives, bold to draw a line, that whole boundary periphery. Give me no yes man, yes man, yes man. Like, if I'm going to find a point with a beneficial ownership, like, you give me no yes man, yes man, yes man, to the United Kingdom with the political musical chairs. Okay, Mr. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have a good weekend, sir.
All right.
Sir. Cool.
Have a good weekend. And that's bringing us down to the end of the line here. We're had some good discussion and some surprising reaction to the question, do you believe in freedom of speech? But or religion, rather. And, you know, I'm surprised that people said, no, I don't believe in freedom of religion. And I have to wonder if my friend Mickey was right, that when people saw the Constitution saying freedom of religion, that they took that to mean freedom of religion for them, but not somebody that's not like them, right? But the Constitution says freedom of religion for everybody in the Cayman Islands. It's 2:30. I have to take my leave. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Take care of yourself, especially if you got any of those respiratory issues. The Saharan dust is coming. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
For over 50 years.